Kiss the rings, bitch.
And now, suspense.
Last but not least, part 3, everything that I've gotten from Bookmans. And keep in mind, like I said, everything that I've gotten here has all been with store credits. I haven't paid a dime out of my own pocket. Knock on wood that it keeps continuing. But like I said, I'll pay like $10 at, Goodwill, $10-15 for stuff at Goodwill, and I'll get like average $60 to $100 back in trade from Bookmans, and I just use that to buy more movies. The feeling of not having to pay money out of pocket for stuff is just really cool. So let's start off with the Blu-rays, and some of these Blu-rays are going to be out of print. But let's start with some TV shows that I've been trying to get my hands on, but they've just been super hard to find, and on eBay they're just way too much that I want to spend. But Doom Patrol Season 2 on Blu-ray, finally, I've been able to find this. This just like came and went at Best Buy. Same with Season 3 of Doom Patrol. That's the other one I gotta find. Doom Patrol is one of my favorite comic book TV shows of all time. It is absolutely insane. If you've never seen Doom Patrol, give it a shot. I will tell you that it's very mature. It's not made for the faint of heart. There's a lot of violence. There's a lot of sexual content. There's a lot of just like crazy, just batshit crazy stuff that happens. That's what I've always loved about DC, is that they've always been able to just like bend and break the mold of what superhero and comic book stuff should be.
Yes, damn it, the donkey!
What's the donkey got to do with it?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, asshole!
So yeah, Doom Patrol Season 2, very happy to find this. And these two I was super happy to find because it completes my collection that I started like almost 10 years ago now, and just haven't been able to find these because they're just ridiculously priced, or they're just not, people just don't sell them. Star Trek The Next Generation Season 6 and Season 7. Season 7, the hardest to find. These two are the hardest to find. This one had a slipcover. Awesome. This one didn't. I don't care. Found these for super good price. Knock on wood that they don't come out with a 4K, because I will be so mad. But even then, I'll probably just end up buying it. I started collecting the Star Trek Next Generation on Blu-ray like when they first started coming out. And they said they're not cheap. They ran for like $30-40 a piece, maybe even more. I don't remember, but I usually started buying mine around like $20-30. And everywhere I went had seasons 1 through 4 and 5, but no one ever had 6 and 7. It's like I needed 6 and 7 to complete the collection for years now, and like literally no one had them. I looked them up on Amazon. They were always like in and out of stock. eBay was the same. Like no one was selling them, because if you come across these, buy them and keep them. No one's going to sell them, especially if you're a really big fan of Star Trek like I am. Star Trek The Next Generation is my favorite TV show of all time. I think it's the greatest series of all time. The writing on this is amazing. Like I still think it's probably some of the greatest writing of television of all time. It was way ahead of its time. There's stuff in here that technology-wise, there's stuff in here that we use today that they had in this one that no one had ever even thought of at the time. Writing was always inclusive. It dealt with like gender roles. It dealt with racism. And so that's why I think it's so weird now that when people watch Picard or the new iterations of Star Trek, I've heard some people like hardcore Star Trek fans, or just people who casual fans or whatever. But I've heard people say like they don't like the new ones because how edgy they are, or how there's gay people in it, and then there's, people of color and blah, blah, blah. It's like, do you guys not realize what Star Trek was at the time it came out? The first interracial kiss between actors on television ever was on Star Trek, between Captain Kirk and Lieutenant Uhura. And then they're like, the people started to call the new Star Trek like woke or whatever. Like, you obviously don't know Star Trek, because Star Trek's been woke, bro. It's been woke. It was woke before woke was woke. Like, what are you talking about? You obviously don't know Star Trek. Gene Roddenberry created a universe and worlds where they face those challenges. If you watch the old series and even Star Trek Next Generation, it dealt with gender roles. They have a whole episode where there are people who are genderless. You obviously watched it on the surface level and didn't dig deep enough to know that Gene Roddenberry created a world of inclusion, regardless of race, sex, sexuality. It was all in there. It was all about inclusion and about loving each other and just getting along. Like,
Right, so get woke, bro.
Back on track. Some more Blu-rays, and these are some out-of-print Blu-rays, or just some like super rare finds. One of these I've never even heard of, but they had it for $8. It's not even on Amazon. That's how rare it is. And then the one listing that I did find on eBay was like $50 or something like that. But this is the specials. I saw this and I was like, that looks weird and kind of odd. Right here at the bottom it says limited edition of 5,000 units. So they only made 5,000 of these things and they're just gone. The DVD also is like crazy, directed by Craig Mazin, but it's written by James Gunn. And it looks ridiculous. I haven't watched it yet, and it looks ridiculous and probably isn't very good. But the fact that like something so obscure made it to Blu-ray and it just kind of disappeared, I thought like, this is really cool to have, even if I don't like it, you just kind of want it in your collection just for that purpose to be like, you ever see this? Like, no, it's like, of course you haven't. This is a super rare movie. But yeah, another one too that I looked up and they only wanted $16 for this. And I looked it up and some of the listings were going for like 60 and higher. A couple people hit me up online on Instagram and let me know that this is a pretty fun movie, so I'll have to check it out soon. Rockula, Scream Factory put this out, or Scream Factory, Shout Factory. What's the difference? I'm not too big on labels and stuff because I don't give a shit.
Say another motherfucking word and this shit is over. And I ain't playing, nigga.
To be honest with you, Scream Factory, Shout Factory, whatever. It says shoutfactory.com on the back, and then it's an MGM title as well. But yeah, it looks pretty interesting. Has to do with a 400-year-old virgin. So I think that's what like kind of hooked me. And I looked at the back, says he's a 400-year-old virgin who wants to rock all night. And I was like, all right, I'm intrigued. And then here we go, people. My holy grail of Blu-rays. I have been searching for this movie for maybe 10 years now since I passed it up because I was a broke ass student. So happy that I finally have this. And the fact that I own this is also still like, it feels like a dream. I passed it up 10 years ago because I thought at the time, I already have the DVD. This is kind of like a movie that I thought was going to be around forever because I was like, it's a popular movie, And then years later, when I'm trying to upgrade all of my DVDs to Blu-ray, I find out that this movie is going for like $100 at the time. And I was like, oh, damn. All right. And then later on, it just gets more obscure and harder to find. And now it goes from upwards to like $100 to $150, even $200. Bedazzled on Blu-ray. Holy shit.
Dear God, it's beautiful.
Wow. I paid $50 for this at Bookmans. There's a case of all their rare and out of print stuff that they have up front. Saw this in there instantly, was like, give me that. I'm taking it. And I'm so lucky that I actually found this. It's like I found this the day before I went on vacation. Had a bunch of stuff to trade in, and I thought, all right, well, I'm going to go trade this stuff in before I go on vacation because I'm not going to have the chance to. I just thought, like, you know what? I'm going to go look at the case real quick. I go see this, and I was like, oh my God, is that real? And I see a $50, it still has a little $50 tag right there. And I was like, can you have somebody open this case? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, right there, bedazzled, give me that right now. Used all the credit that I got like $55 in credit that day from the stuff that I took in. Bought this instantly. If they had it for $100, I would have bought it.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
And also, like I said, because I'm part of their book club, I get 10% off. And then, like I said, I don't have to pay taxes with the store credit. So 10% off of this, I paid $45 for this. $45. This is going into one of my little like sleeves or whatever and just never coming out. I'm going to probably seal it and just never watch it again. But bedazzled on Blu-ray. God, I'm so happy to have this. Out all the 4Ks now. We're moving on to 4Ks from Bookmans. Found this one, Spider-Man. First Spider-Man on 4K. I've been holding out for like the collection, but I saw this and it was only $8. And it's definitely not American. It is region free. You can see right there. Another one too that's hard to find. Hidden Figures, a movie that like it was pretty well received when it came out. I looked this up and yeah, it was going for a crazy price. It's just a regular Blu-ray, just a regular 4K, no slipcover was going for like $20-$30 and found this for like $10 at Bookman. So I was like, all right. And I watched it. It looks really good on 4K and I watched it and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good film. The scientists that helped with the, NASA launches and stuff back in the day who happen to be women and also happen to be Black. This was interesting because I feel like if this movie hadn't come out, I myself and other people would never have even known that there were people of color, especially women, that had a pretty vital role in that, in like the space program. And you know, history, they like to wash out anything with people of color or especially women. So women of color, like that's such like a double whammy. I also picked up Avengers, the first Avengers. I've been trying to get all the Avengers movies on 4K. I have Infinity War and Endgame. Finally picked up Avengers, the first one. It actually looks really good on 4K. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't have a slipcover, but that's okay. Yeah, it looks really good. It actually holds up pretty well in terms of the visuals. Story-wise, I did watch it again, and story-wise, I feel like it doesn't hold up as well as I remembered. It feels very made for TV at some points, but when you think of like Joss Whedon's history of television stuff, it kind of makes sense. But overall, pretty cool. And then I also found The Mask of Zorro. I heard this one has like a crazy rare slipcover that it came out with when it first got released. Like I said, I can find a slipcover in the future, or if not, it really doesn't matter. And then I picked up Hellboy, $10 for 4K Steelbook, the first Hellboy by Guillermo del Toro. Looks pretty good on 4K. Not the best, if I'm being honest, but looks really cool. The steelbook, like I said, is awesome. And then I also found Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, for like $12. $12 for this one. Again, not a great Hellboy movie in my opinion, but you know, to find it for this price was pretty cool. I don't believe this one had a slipcover when it came out, but I mean, actually looks really good on 4K. That's kind of like the weird thing about it, is like story-wise, not great. Visual-wise, it's fantastic. It looks really good on 4K. Denzel, my man Denzel. If you know me, you know that I love me some Denzel. Anything with Denzel in it, I'm for it, man.
You get your fucking hands off me.
Denzel could play Abraham Lincoln, and I'm like, give this man an Oscar. He played Macbeth, and it was great. Anyway, Equalizer and Equalizer 2 on 4K Steelbooks. I saw these. They were $15 a piece over at Bookmans. Instantly had to grab them. And these they're like a matte finish. These are really cool. I really like the feel of it. Especially with Equalizer 3 coming out soon. Man, I'm pretty hyped for that one. But hopefully they come out with a steelbook for that one and I'll grab it, or otherwise just I don't know. How are you guys like that? Are you guys, if you have a steelbook for the first one, do you like having the slipcover or regular Blu-ray for that one, or do you have to have the steelbook? So now on to the items from Bookmans, 4Ks with slipcovers. And I finally picked up the box set of Transformers. They had it for $20. All 5 Transformers movies. The first couple of them look really good. It has the 4Ks and the Blu-rays. Sound off in the comments, which is the weakest Transformer. All right, next up we have, this is the most recent pickup, $10 for Get Out 4K with the slipcover. I hear the slipcover is really hard to find. My boy 4K Media Guy just did a live stream recently where he was talking about like he was on the lookout for this slipcover. I feel like this movie has a lot of very good ideas, and I really enjoy the first half because the build up, I'm like, whoa, this is weird. It's unique. It's really cool. The third act to me just falls apart completely because it just devolves into your generic thriller, and I'm just like, it just doesn't do it for me. It's just not a satisfying ending. Just doesn't do it for me. And then I picked up another one, like $10 slipcover, Eternals. This is another controversial opinion, but watch the Eternals, the movie that everyone just seemed to hate because it was something different. And I watched it, and apart from the fact that I think there are way too many Eternals, and I think the characters are just way too many that you just don't really care for many of them. So when like, who are these people? I barely know this person. And also the main character wasn't that interesting. But visually, this is fantastic. Visually, it's phenomenal. Like, I mean, obviously knowing who the director is and it coming from like an, you know, like more of like an independent film style and everything, this looks damn good. And honestly, I enjoyed it. Next up, Interstellar, another movie that I got to give us another watch to. I've seen it twice, both times. Entertained, but I don't love it on a deep level like a lot of people. A lot of people just seem to love it, and I have issues with it, especially with the whole time travel thing. If you know me, I'm a huge stickler for time travel. Like, I've looked into time travel very extensively because I want to go back in time and change my entire life and make new decisions, because I've made some really bad decisions in my life, like not picking up Bedazzled on Blu-Ray 10 years ago.
I'm so depressed I can't even blink.
And yes, I know time travel is theoretical for now. There are still rules. There are still rules to this shit. The space-time continuum is fine. No, it's not. So yeah, Interstellar has some aspects of that where I'm just like, you just created a paradox. You're just going to gloss over it. Okay, let's just create paradoxes and then just pretend it never happened. Like they just fix themselves. No, not how paradoxes work. I'm sorry. All right. So then I recently also picked up Serenity, $10, 4K slipcover. Never saw the show. I saw Serenity not that long ago. I enjoyed it. There's some aspects of it that I feel like I don't fully understand because it is a film made for the fans of the TV show. So obviously I'm not going to understand everything because I've never seen the TV show. The 4K, in my opinion, we saw it on Blu-ray because we own the Blu-ray. Color corrected a lot of stuff. There's some parts towards the end, if you've seen Serenity, that are just very washed out and like yellow and bright. And it hurts my eyes when I watch the Blu-ray. But on this one, it corrects it a bit to where it's not as bright and it's not as yellow. So I really enjoyed that. But like I said, it has a stink of Joss Whedon on it. Ugh, hate that guy.
You're a sloppy bitch.
Murder on the Orient Express, a movie that I didn't really care for as much on the first watch. Watched it again, and I have a newfound appreciation for it. And the fact that there's a trilogy coming out. It looks like a horror movie, and it's the same guy. I was like, oh, okay, I only knew about Death on the Now being like a direct sequel, but this is also another sequel in the trilogy of this guy, basically. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like that just intrigued me for some reason. Now that makes me want to watch Death on the Now. The 4K by itself is already like out of print, basically. And then I ended up finding the slipcover for it. So, like the slipcover itself too, like look it up on eBay. Like the slipcover for this goes for crazy money. So the fact that I was able to find it and get it is really awesome. Next up, Mulan on 4K, another one that was like $10. But a while back, I found a collection. Like it looks like somebody just let off all the collection of Disney 4Ks at Bookmans because I found a bunch of them 4Ks with slipcovers. So I grabbed all of them. And then another one with an awesome slipcover for $10. Speed on 4K. I was gonna pick this up not too long ago for like $13 at Best Buy. I'm so glad I waited. You know, patience. Sometimes patience pays off. Found Speed with the slipcover. I said I've been getting really lucky with these slipcovers over there at Bookmans. $15 for this one. Dog Soldiers. Never saw it. Pretty cool werewolf movies, actually. And I saw it, and I really enjoyed it. Like, the practical effects were in. This movie was made on like a shoestring budget, but it looks so good, and it's just done so well. And it's actually very good. I really enjoyed it. And the 4K looks amazing. Obviously, there are some things about it you can tell that are, like, dated, you can tell that it's an older film, but damn, they did a really good job on that transfer. And then these ones I was super happy to find. Another, again, $10 for both of these, for each, $10 each. Captain America, The First Avenger, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, 4K with slipcovers. It's super hard to find Marvel movies on 4K with slipcovers. Marvel movies in general with slipcovers is pretty hard to find sometimes, especially these older ones. So the fact that I found these in pretty good condition for $10 a piece, like, damn, I'm so happy. Now I just need Civil War with the slipcover, but I doubt it. I've seen it at Zia for like $12, but it didn't have a slipcover. All right, and then the last thing, one that I've been looking for a while, and it just kind of disappeared, and then it showed up again with the slipcover. It's not in the best condition, but again, $8, Wonder on 4K. And I know it just got like a re-release, and it also had like a steelbook, I believe it was. But I found Wonder on 4K, really cool movie, very heartwarming. But yeah, I hadn't seen the slipcover for this in a while, and every time I did find Wonder on 4K, it was like $15-16 with no slipcover. All right, so that was it. That was my most recent pickups. Well, pretty much just for the month of July and August track. These have all been the movies right here that I have yet to be placed onto the shelf. I just haven't had the time to put them away, and also because a part of me wanted to do this haul video for a long time, so I kind of just kept it there because I was like, if I mix them all into the shelf, I'm gonna forget what I bought when I bought it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was really fun. I haven't done a haul video in a very long time. If you know me, like on a more personal level, you know that there's been some stuff going on in my life. I had a lot of personal stuff going on. Shout out to Kal-El Daily for always being there to talk when I need to. He knows all the tea, but he won't spill because he's a real one. But yeah, I've just been going through a lot of work, instead of going on vacation, just want to spend more time with my family. And then when I do have time, I just want to chill and I don't want to do anything. I've just been lazy. But there are other reasons for the laziness and stuff and just the lack of motivation. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully the sound good. Hopefully my video was good. But yeah, check you guys out later.
I'm Rick James, bitch. Enjoy yourself.